Welcome to PAD's Technology Today podcast. Thank you for joining me today. Today we will be discussing advanced imaging technology. Did you know that technology has played a significant role in all aspects of everyday life, including keeping us safe? From taking fingerprints to facial recognition, technology has assisted in the criminal justice system with the idea of overall public safety. There is an unspoken expectation that the government must keep us safe. Government agencies are the institutions tasked with the tall order of protecting persons from hurt, harm, or danger. By using technology to assist in reaching that goal, intelligence information is obtained with better accuracy to enforce the laws of protection. I will discuss why and how government agencies use airport body scanners as a means of public safety. Before we discuss current systems, let's take a brief trip down memory lane. Prior to the 1960s, traveling by air was very safe. In fact, the first hijackings were in 1969, and there were only 87 worldwide, 40 of which was in the United States. The first reported airport scanning process for departing passengers was in Louisiana and the International New Orleans International Airport. I apologize. It was a magnetometer. These devices only detected metal. If airports were only using these today, technology where we have non-metal weapons, we would be in a world of trouble. This form of security was the standard for quite some time. The horrible day of September 11, 2001 will never be forgotten. On that day, terrorists attacked 3 airplanes in New York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Thousands of lives were taken. The United States government had to quickly address and correct the life-threatening security deficiencies that allowed this to happen. In response to the attack and realizing that there were life-threatening deficiencies in airport security screening, the United States of America 107 Congress passed the Aviation and Transportation Security Act, which created the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, a government agency to prevent these type of attacks from happening again. The TSA is a division of the Department of Homeland Security, DHS. TSA is tasked with protecting people and commerce using moving and U.S. transportation systems, which includes airports. The terror attacks caused the world to reevaluate and increase safety in airports in both nationally and international airspace. The Aviation and Transportation Act was signed into law November 19, 2001. Today, the TSA is responsible for securing and operating over 450 airports throughout the United States and a shared security for highways, roadways, ports, and mass transit systems and pipelines. The TSA's urgency of safety depends heavily on technology. As I previously stated, in the wake of 9/11 terror attacks, government at home and abroad rushed to tackle vulnerabilities in security measures with aviation and intelligence. It was evident that this was a grave concern. There is an urgent and massive effort that was implemented to reorganizing the entire infrastructure to increase the government's ability to prevent and future attacks from happening again. The TSA needed to make sure that these attacks came to an end. The United States government, the TSA, looked to technology to assist in a crucial goal in safety. The TSA used advanced imaging technology. AIT are body scanners that scan passengers to detect illegal weaponry. WBIs, or whole body scanners, and AITs were implemented in 2007 as the primary scanning method in the United States. AITs are certified scanners are certified scanners that are called X-ray backscatters. In summary, a well-culminated pencil beam of low-energy X-rays is rastered scanned across an area in which a person is positioned. The X-ray reflected back from a person toward the source is collected by a large area detector adjacent to and on top of the X-ray source. The total signal of the large detector is spatially assigned to the location of the pencil beam, and an image to reconstructed for the complete horizontal and vertical scans. Spatial resolution of the X-ray backscanner image is defined by the size of the aperture created by two-dimensional culminated in distance from the person or the source, and thus by the dimension of all detectors. This chart shows that there was an uptick in terror-related incidents in the United States. Then there was a huge decrease as time went on. Here we have the millimeter wave scanner that detects radiation that comes from an object. This process allows for the detection of the object that are otherwise difficult to locate. This detection happens with the form of electromagnetic radiation. Millimeter wave images can be revealed. Can be. Please forgive me. Millimeter wave images can reveal objects hidden under clothes using two rotated transmitted waves, millimeters and submillimeter wave imagery. While metal detectors are limited to detecting objects such as knives and guns, millimeter wave images can detect other threats, weapons made out of ceramic and plastic materials. These waves are long enough to penetrate most man-made materials, but short enough to provide the required resolution for the detection of objects of interest with modern-sized apertures and create a three-dimensional replica. This graph shows the frequency of scanned passengers on an average day. AIT scanners have been the target of several groups, including medical professionals, regarding their safety for those who walk through them. Some groups recognize that the exposure of the radiation is small. However, they question small amounts when including them with the person's other source of radiation through the day, which like the sun. The more concerned factor is the risk of cancer that are associated with the backscatter X-ray. Reports indicate that most of the X-rays emitted when scanning is reflected and some are absorbed. It has been debated that the risk of developing cancer is minimal because the amount of radiation is relatively minimal as well. There are also ethical questions when it comes to body scanners. The main reason to secure the method for securing people is for social, mental, and physical protections. However, Batal, he says that if the person who is being scanned is being discriminated against, that is a contradiction and ultimately less effective. Taking a comprehensive glance at the European Union and the United States because of body scanners, however controversial, is not isolated to American challenges. McNeil reported that the European Union conducted research on deployment of security scanners and implemented regulatory controls on their body scanners before the controversy in America exploded. European Parliament and Council instituted several regulations regarding airport body scanners, some of which include acts of unlawful interference. Unlawful interference is one of the concerns and policies that the stakeholders here in America have as well. We conclude that the public has several issues regarding radiation. First, scientists have not been able to enlighten the public's skepticism regarding the doses of radiations and risk. There have been no reported cases that anyone has been able to identify regarding cancer or radiation exposure when going through scanners. And on the internet, there are several stories that are contradictory between the TSA, science, and engineers. While the TSA faces challenges with employee turnover, AITs are the needed technology to make up for staffer shortages as technology detects with accuracy. In other words, this technology can ensure that passengers are not boarding with illegal objects. The detection can happen with or without extra airport security. Despite the opposition of the use of AITs, no research supports that the belief of any adverse health effects on the passengers. I hope that you have enjoyed today's podcast as well and as much as I have enjoyed sharing the information. Until next time, take care and tech always. Good night.